The federal government will be sending you a letter this month to your house that will help shape the future of St. Lucie County. Find out more next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County, and on today's show we're going to take a closer look at the U.S. Census. My guests today will be St. Lucie County Commissioner Linda Bartz and Andrea Robinson with the U.S. Census Bureau. But before we meet our guests, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners. The Oxbow Eco Center's annual Earth Day event is scheduled for Saturday, April 18th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This free event includes dozens of interactive exhibitors, live music, artists' garden, youth voices, live animals, and the Florida Heritage Trail. Enjoy local food trucks and brews while taking in the sights and sounds of this community-wide event. For more details, follow our event on the county's Facebook page or visit oxboweco.com. Tickets are on sale now for the New York Mets 2020 spring training season at the newly renamed and remodeled Clover Park in Port St. Lucie. The Mets play 16 games in Port St. Lucie, including home games versus last year's World Series winner and runner-up, the Houston Astros and Washington Nationals. For details, visit stluciemets.com or call 772-871-2115. Need help filling out your federal income tax returns? Volunteers are stationed at several VITA locations throughout St. Lucie County through April. For details about times and locations, call 211 or visit stlucieco.gov. The U.S. Census Bureau is recruiting thousands of workers for temporary jobs available nationwide in advance of the 2020 census, including residents from the Treasure Coast. If you're looking for temporary employment, check out the Census Bureau's website at 2020census.gov/jobs. And when you receive your census survey this month, be sure to count every person in your home, as local governments stand to lose $1,600 in federal funds for every person not counted. Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. We also hope you'll follow us on social media at St. Lucie Gov. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works. For the third consecutive month, tourism revenue increased from last year, with December's bed tax figures coming in at nearly 9% higher than the year before. Overall building activity increased by 40% in December compared to November, with 882 permits issued, while revenue for that same time frame increased by 48%, generating roughly $219,000. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County in December was $236,000, up 6.5% from last year, while condo values dropped by 10% with the median price at $171,500. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate dropped again in December to 3.3% compared to November's 3.4%. Statewide, the unemployment rate dropped slightly to 3%. There were more than 4,800 additional jobs on the Treasure Coast compared to last year, with the largest gains in leisure and hospitality with 1,500 jobs, education and health services with 1,400 jobs, and construction and government tie for third with 600 jobs each. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at Career Sources. They can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for work, they can help you as well. Visit CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U2-HIRE. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, and I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commissioner Linda Bartz. Commissioner, thanks for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure, Eric.
And Andrea Robinson, I'll read you across the table.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you. And you're with the U.S. Census Bureau, and you came up this morning out of the Lauderdale, Miami area to talk to us about the census.
Yes.
Hopefully folks now have heard enough about it. They know what the census is. It's something that happens every 10 years, defined by the Constitution. But just in case, give us an overview of what the census is and why we do it.
The census is an account that we do every 10 years to find out how many people are in the United States and in any particular area, because that, as we say, the census is about dollars and power. Dollars being that, and I think this is the part a lot of people don't know, is that but you know, being in a municipality, that the monies that the federal government gives to any particular area are based on the number of people who reside in that area at that particular time when the census is taken. And those numbers, that amount of dollars, will be given to that municipality for 10 years. So that's a lot of money over a 10-year period that a municipality will gain, or if people don't respond, could lose. And that affects the amount of the type of services that you can provide to those areas. So it's very important. The other thing about census is that the boundaries for any state at the congressional level, but it trickles down to the county and city level as well, that your boundaries for your areas will be determined by the results of those census. So for Commissioner Bartz, the district that she has now, District 3, will change after the 2020 census. And if you love your commissioner, you want to make sure you're counted so that you can remain in her district. Yeah. That's just a very brass tacks fact about these things, and people don't think about that.
Yeah, I think we focus a lot, being in government, on the dollar amount. You know, every person not counted is what, $1,600 in lost revenue?
Roughly, something like that, yeah.
And that can grow exponentially if we don't have people not only responding, but making sure that they are counting everyone who is in their household.
Yes.
And I understand that if your kids are away at college, they will be counted at college so that the count is still there. Is that?
Yes, that's right. Well, there are two things. One other thing to that. They will be counted at their school if they are on campus or in a fraternity or sorority house. They will be counted in that residence at their college or university. Now, if they are staying off campus, they will be counted at the household where they are based. So that's the difference. But we want parents to know that their child will be counted. Now, whether or not, if they live off campus, they will be counted where they are. But if they're on campus, their count will go toward their residence here.
And Andrea, one of the things that I asked your representative, Robin.
Yes, Robin Cryer, she's phenomenal.
When she made her first presentation in front of me, I think I saw 4. But I asked her, what about the inmates in the jails?
Yes.
And she didn't have the answer then.
Yeah.
But she brought it back to me that there will be people there to make sure that all of them are counted as well.
Yes, we go to non-traditional residences, that we call them, and whether or not you're on some people live on their boats. We count boats. We count jails or prisons, wherever they are residing. That's where they will be counted. So we're determined that no one is left out, no matter where they are. RV parks, people who live at campgrounds, they will be counted, and of course the homeless.
That was going to be my next question.
Yes, we work with government when you do your point-in-time counts to make sure that and with the social service agencies to make sure that those people are counted as well. Everyone counts. Everyone. Yeah.
So those people that are hesitant, Andrea, so they might be hesitant, I'm going to just say it, because they're illegals or they're just private and they are worried about where this information is going to go, and frankly Big Brother is watching, so they won't fill out the census. Can you tell me how you protect those people and their privacy?
Okay, privacy, we are bound, all census employees are bound under 2 federal statutes where we cannot release information to any person or any agencies. So people do not have to be fearful of ICE, immigration, any federal government, even the President of the United States. No one can get the information. If somehow we divulge anything, we face a prison up to 5 years in prison, or a fine of $250,000. And as I tell people, orange is not, I love orange, but it's not my color. I'm not going to jail or prison for anyone. And we all feel that way. So we face stiff fines if information is released. But people can also be assured that their information is encrypted, several layers, and it is protected, so no one can get their information.
And how long?
For life.
You maintain that information for life.
But
So the
information,
IRS can't
IRS cannot come and get anything. Not IRS,
CIA, not
CIA,
FBI,
no, none of those alphabet soup agencies. No thing can get your information. The information is only released for geological ancestry purposes. 72 years.
72. That was a question I had. Somebody said the census information from 1950. When would that be? Because they were trying to do some ancestry work.
I think it's. I want to say it's. I think it's next in 2022 will be the next release. So, and I think that's going to be actually the 1940 census.
So they still got a ways to go.
So have
get
a ways.
The ancestry data.
Yes. So when they determine that they want to release my information, it's going to be a time that
you won't care.
I don't care.
Because
I won't be here in 72
exactly,
years.
because my mom passed in 2018. I'm looking forward to her information being released in 2022. She won't be here to see it, but I can look at it. So, but that will be the next census that will be released. And the way it's done that way, because at the time when the census was started, life expectancy was 72 years. So that's why it's the 72-year limit.
Which is still, it's a good life.
Yeah, sure.
It's still a long time. One thing different, if you don't mind me, since you mentioned encrypted, one thing different this year is the census will be hard mailed to folks, but they'll be able to complete the form online, correct?
Yes, this time we did it in limited amounts for people could go online, I think in 2000, but this particular census for 2020, what's new and exciting is that everyone who can get online to complete the form, households, residences will receive in the mail starting March 12th a postcard with the special number asking them to go online or call on the phone to complete their census information for everyone in the house. If by, I think, the third or fourth, you get other reminders. By the fourth reminder, which I think is going to be the end of March, that's when we automatically send a paper questionnaire. Okay. Because there are some people who don't want to get on the computers. Sure. I know some, even young people who don't really know about the census or who may be kind of questioning things, they may be reluctant to get on the computer. And also our seniors, because like my mom did not care for computers at all, no matter how much we prodded and say, hey, it's easy. So that's an age group we're concerned about as well. So by the fourth mailing, you will get the paper questionnaire.
So in all fairness to those people who don't want to get on a computer, we hear in the news quite frequently how computers are hacked. Whether they are at a retail store, they are a credit card. So you have the security in place to make sure that if I go in and type up my information and I don't know everything that you're going to collect socials?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of my other questions too.
Yeah.
Yes, and we can go over the types of information that we will and we will not collect.
So, but I can understand the fear. I know that I'm fearful to put some information when it's asked on the computer because I constantly worry where's it going to go?
Yes.
And, am I going to have a problem with my credit score? Am I going to have a problem with somebody who is using my information to possibly purchase,
Open a new credit card account,
right,
that kind of thing.
or
Yeah.
purchase a boat. I mean, if
Yeah,
they're
well-
going to buy a boat, I
Yeah.
want to use it.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
No, it's very important. And we have, anytime a person has concerns about scams or any type of safety issues, we have a trust and safety division where people can dial in or email with their concern. And the email address is rumors, RUMORS, at 2020census.gov.
Perfect. That's what I was going to say. This time of year, the scams are on heightened
Yes.
alert because it's IRS
Yes.
time. You get the calls. The IRS will never call you. They will send a
Social Security will never call you.
Social
No.
Security, those kind of things. And so same thing with the census. They're not going to ask you for any kind of financial information, banking numbers, credit card numbers.
None of that. Social Security, if anyone approaches you asking for those things, they're not part of the U.S. Census Bureau.
So I have a question on something that you mentioned, that if people don't, if I understood, if people don't file by the end of March, then you start collecting. I mean, is that possible for me to go online, in March and say, oh, let me do my census? Or what I had been told over and over again is that it was April 1st.
Well, April 1st is a point in time date that we give. Historically, when we had people going out, it would be April 1st. But now with using technology, as soon as you get that card in the mail, you can go ahead and start preparing your census application.
Okay.
Go online, or there will be a phone number that you can call, where you can have it done over the phone with a census employee. That's the other thing people don't realize.
So I get the card in the mail, I ignore it. I go, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
For any number of reasons,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I have an appointment. I can't. I mean, if you're like me, you have all these other things that come up, and I'll get around to it. And I put the card away, and I forget.
So what's the process from there?
Okay.
So you send me a
The
card.
first card, yes. If we then, within 2 weeks, I think it's 2 weeks, you'll get another card, reminder, a
Okay.
mailing with reminder. You will get after the first card, you'll get 2 other reminders.
Okay.
And then after the 4th time, you will get a notice with the paper questionnaire.
Okay.
Now, by the end of April, I believe, if you don't respond to any of those, that's when our enumerators will be in the field.
So
to
they'll be knock
doors.
on my door
To knock
and
on
say,
doors.
hey, did
Yes.
you remember to do this?
Yes. Hey,
and of
so
course
let us-
I will look and go, oh, I know I had it. I know I put
around
it
here somewhere.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere, but then that's when we will be going out in the field, knocking on doors, and that's one of our largest mobilizations of workers across the United States and the territories, even in remote. We started in remote Alaska, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and the Virgin Islands, other territories. We will be fanning out over across the country.
Do you need anybody to do the Virgin Islands? Because I could use a
Hey,
little.
that would be a great assignment.
It
I
would,
may
wouldn't it?
see if
I'm
I can-
thinking Hawaii.
Hawaii, that's true.
Yeah.
But I understand that you are hiring now.
Yes, we are.
So that if there are people out there who need a job,
need jobs.
it may be temporary.
Yes.
However, it is a great
It's
job
a
to
great
have.
job, great
I understand that it pays well.
Pays very well,
And I've
yes.
also met a couple of seniors
Yes.
who have already been hired on.
Yes, we're looking for all age groups because these jobs are temporary. They're great for retirees. They're great for students, college, especially college students who have flexible schedules, retirees who can work whenever they want, set their hours, or people who want to supplement their income by taking on a second job or third job even. So the hours are fairly flexible. In the case of the enumerators, a lot of the teams will be going out in the evenings
On
when
weekends.
people are, and weekends when people are home from work,
Sure.
the times we think that they're going to be home from work and knocking on the doors then.
I won't be home at those times, just so you know.
Okay, but well, in your case, though, but hey, you're 7 a.m., you can knock on a few doors, maybe?
Oh, no, I was thinking about you knocking on my
Her
door.
door.
No,
She's
you
saying
won't
she
be.
won't be there
So
to
you're
answer.
not, but I know at
She's gonna
some
fill out her
point
form
you're
now.
going to fill out your
Yeah.
form, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Or I will
Absolutely.
personally come back up here to make sure that you do.
That's not going to be a problem. I just want to make sure people know how important it is.
Yes.
And if you have one child in the house who may be 3 months old, or you have 4 children in the house that might be 4 to 11 or 4 to 23, you need to make sure
That they're counted.
that you are counting everyone.
Exactly, everyone. And in this day and age, a family, we think of the family traditionally, the nuclear family, as the husband, wife, children. But now families are very different. Sometimes you have friends who are together as roommates, or grandparents are taking care of their grandchildren, aunts, uncles.
Kids are taking care of their grandparents.
Yes,
yeah.
and aunts and uncles taking in children who have no other place to go, but they want their family members to stay together. We want you to have everyone in that household counted, and especially as it relates to children. In the last census, children from 0 to 5 were among the least counted across the United States. That has severe ramifications for governments, especially because those numbers, those children 10 years from now will be in school. If they were not counted according to the statistics that are generated by the Census Bureau, they don't exist. I mean, they do,
Sure.
but they don't exist for official numbers. And in government, you use those numbers to say, if you want to build a playground, if you want to build a school, the numbers aren't there to support that in a particular neighborhood, so you have to deny that.
Does that also affect our social services?
It does.
That's
That's
so
a critical.
Free and reduced
Lunches,
lunch,
healthcare,
healthcare.
Medicaid, Medicare, the WIC, all of those things, even public safety. If you want to put up another fire department, or you look at those numbers based on the number of people who officially are here. There is an example in Miami-Dade County, which is just south of here. A school board member wanted to have a school put in her neighborhood. Well, the planners looked at the numbers, and she was told, well, there are no children here. She knew that they were, but it was because the children were not placed on the form that the county had to deny putting a school in her neighborhood. She knew that the neighborhood had the children, but they didn't show up on the official record.
Sure.
So the census information becomes an official record for government, for businesses who want to plan to, if they want to relocate to a neighborhood or a city.
So, Andrea, the other question I have, so that people are aware out there, what information, because we just talked about hacking, we just talked about social security numbers, things like that, what kind of information are you going to ask? Do you know what's on the form and what you can tell me?
Well, I have the form.
Of course you
somewhere,
do.
but I need to call that so I can
No.
give the.
So we can talk about that later, but I'm assuming name, address.
It's name, address for each person,
Do
your
you
race,
have to-
ethnicity.
Do you have to divulge the names of each of those people living in the house? Do you know?
That one I need to.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll get back to that.
Okay.
Because frankly, the most important thing here, and what I would urge everybody, not only the people who are watching, but talk to your neighbors, talk
Your
to your
employees.
friends, talk to your employees, talk to your hairdresser,
Yes,
talk to
everybody,
everyone.
everyone.
Because this is so, so important. And it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
So, again.
And one trick question, and for us, it's not really a trick question, but it's a tricky area, is we have a lot of residents that may live here part of the year and live in Michigan or New York. If you have multiple residences in different states, obviously we want them to claim that they live here in St. Lucie County,
Right.
but where technically should they?
The rule is that wherever the person resides for most of the calendar year,
Okay.
that's where they should be counted.
Sure.
That's where they should be counted. If you split your time, they can
6
6
months,
and 6. They can opt to
Wherever you
report. well, yeah, wherever you vote. But also, though, if you happen to be here and you split your time, you can file here.
Yeah.
Right.
File right here. So you encourage, yeah.
Once again, I would urge everyone to take advantage and make sure that you complete your census form, whether you do it online, whether you do it on paper. I would
Or over the
suggest,
phone.
or over the phone. I would suggest you don't wait till they knock on your door.
Sure. That saves us, the federal government, some money.
It saves a lot of money, because the bulk of the people we hire will be based on the number of doors on which we have to knock.
Certainly.
And the other thing, we do support, especially over the phone. Well, the forms are available in English and 12 other languages, including Russian, Portuguese, English, Spanish, Haitian Creole, Japanese, Chinese, and Arabic, and a few other languages.
So there really is no excuse for people not to take the census. I mean, you've got the phone number, and I know our libraries, we have 6 branch libraries. They all have public computers available. They're even going to have special stations set up for the census, and I think even the city of Port St. Lucie is going to set some computer stations up at, I think, the community center there on Aroso, I know, is one location. But you can call the city or check the city's website. But even, St. Lucie County has 6 branch libraries in all parts of the county for folks to come in and take that if you want to do it online or by phone. And Andrea, I know community partners also step up.
Yes, some of the social organizations, the sororities, fraternities, civic groups will have computer banks. There should be some at some of the school sites, because some of the community partners are setting those up. But you have multitude of options where you can complete your census form via the computer. But again, remember, we will be available over the phone, so you don't have to leave your home. You can call the number which you will get, and 12 English and 12 other languages: French, Japanese, Chinese, Haitian Creole, Russian, 12 other languages, and English. So there's no excuse.
Awesome. Commissioner Bartz, anything else you want to mention before we wrap up the show?
No, as I continue to say, please make sure that you fill out your census. It is important for a multitude of reasons. It will be accessible in a multitude of ways to do it. So there's really not an excuse that we can find a way to do it. And again, they'll even come to your door. So we need to pay attention. It is critical for the states and the counties and the cities. This will affect our children down the road as well.
Absolutely.
So
the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's a long time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
being
having
here.
me. If you need me to come back, I really don't mind it. I had a great 2 hours on the road, but the traffic, I didn't run into traffic. So even going through Palm Beach County, it was good.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. And if you need us, well, you have Robin, but at your disposal, we have dozens of people, other partnership specialists who are in the area, and you have me as the media specialist.
Well, now we know because I told you before, I'm a fan of Robin.
Yes.
So now I have another person to be a fan of.
Oh, thank you so
Andrea,
much.
thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you both for coming on the show today. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and we hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program relating to St. Lucie County government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/StLucieGov. I'm your host, Eric Gill. For myself and the staff, thanks for watching.